What I'm going to show you today in this video is exactly how you're supposed to run your inbound and outbound strategy to be able to bring in leads and go out and get them as well. So by the end of this video, you should be able to have established a full outbound system for messaging through email, DMs, cold calls, as well as an inbound system to be able to generate content that's going to bring people to you. So let's get started. Watch this all the way through and make sure you take down some notes. And we're really going to get down into the details of how you can be able to bring in more sales every single month. So let's start with the outbound system. So here we have just the top of funnel. Of course, what are the main three things for outbound? Cold calls, cold email, and DMs. Now, of course, there's many different ways to do each part. Let's start with the cold calls and cold email. Of course, the most important thing for this is to be able to build out your ICP, your list. So something you're going to want to do is build out a creative brief, be able to understand that ICP, be able to understand who you're dealing with and who you want to talk to. Next, you're going to go into either List Kit, Apollo, or the Sales Nav Lead Magic combo. So what that means is you're able to go into one of these systems, be able to filter out people that fit into your demographic, and then extract that information to be able to get their emails, to be able to get their phone numbers, and then to be able to contact them after that. So from here, you are really having to make sure that you are pulling the exact people that are going to fit your demographic. If there's a revenue goal that you're trying to target, make sure that you are having a comparable team size or employee size that you're targeting. Make sure if you're going for decision makers, go for C-suite level, CEO, CMO, COO, people that are going to make decisions where you don't have people that you have to get their approval and then they just give you someone else to work with. You want the decision makers. Next, industry, be able to target. For me, I target marketing, content strategies, coaches, creators, online personal brands to be able to help create these systems for. So that's the kind of target that I would be looking for. Now, of course, you filter out what industries and what targets you guys are looking for. So once you build out that list, there are two separate ways to go about it. Of course, for the cold calls and phone numbers, the number one thing you're going to do is be able to put in their number into the CRM that you're dealing with and then use the dialer to call through all of these people. Now, the reason you're going to want to use a dialer as opposed to just calling right off your cell phone is you're going to take the time, take your phone out, type in one number, call, no answer, do the same thing. It's going to take you a long time. Where if you use a dialer, you're just clicking. It goes to the next call. And if they don't answer, click on to the next one, where it is just running through the phone numbers, saving you so much time, probably double your sales calls if you're able to use a dialer and a CRM. Now, on the cold email side, something that you are able to do is be able to create scripts that are specifically targeting the right people for your system. Now, of course, being able to have the right scripts is a lot of messaging, but there's a lot of key pieces that you need to realize. Number one, you need to be able to build trust with these people. The whole thing about cold outreach and the outbound system is that you have to have people like and trust you. They don't know you because you're reaching out to them. That's really more on something that we'll get into within the inbound systems. But to be able to trust you, you either have to present them guarantees to your offer of what they can make them feel safe, or testimonials, people that you have done this before, proven results that they can feel like, okay, this isn't just some scammer, isn't just some random person pitching me. They have experience. Include that in your messaging. Make sure your messaging is small and to the point. 50 to 75 words at the max. Just say, hey, notice you are this industry, you do this. We have done this for this person before. We guarantee this result. Mind if I send it over? Mind if I send over this free lead magnet? Mind if we hop on a quick call? Just different call to actions that you can split test. Now, with cold email scripts, you want to do around 4 to 5 variations of messaging that you can send out so you can test out what's working and what's not. And then at the same time, you also want to have some follow-ups that go with it. Now, scripts are very important for your outbound system. You need a script for your cold email, you need a script for your cold calls, and you need a script for your DMs. something that has worked with me incredibly well with cold calling scripts is the ability to just give them a no pressure situation to get them on the phone. If they're interested, just ask to be able to explain yourself. And if not, no worries. And it is incredibly effective. A lot of people are afraid of getting on the phone, and that is the number one biggest mistake you can make, because out of these outbound systems, cold email is the most scalable. You can do as many as you possibly can to people, thousands a day. DMs, you can do less DMs a day, but a lot more quality messaging. But cold calls, you're actually getting in front of people, getting on the phone, talking with them, building that trust very quickly. So if you're looking for the most output, cold email is your best friend. If you're looking for the most results and booked calls right away, your back's against the wall, you got to start making sales today, getting on the phone, cold calling is the number one method. Now, I do have a cold calling script personally that I've created. So if you are interested in that, I don't think I'm going to link it below, but what I'll do is just comment on whether this is X or YouTube or anywhere where you see this, comment that you want one of the cold call scripts, and I'll send that over to you. Next is DMs. DMs is very similar. Like I was saying, it's kind of in that middle ground of cold calls and cold email where it's more quality driven, it's more personalized, but it's also still messaging. You're not getting out in front and talking to these people. So, what we want to do is be able to create incredibly hyper specific messaging. Now, how are we going to do that? The same way that we build lead lists with ListKit, Apollo, Sales Nav, and Lead Magic, with DMs, particularly LinkedIn DMs, we are going to go into Sales Nav, be able to filter out the systems, see exactly what industries we want to target, find the exact ICP and target list, and then we're going to want to reach out to them from there. Now, HeyReach is an amazing system where it filters out exactly what you want to do on each piece. So the system starts, it will send maybe 30 connection requests. Anyone that accepts it, it'll take it to one side and send them a message prompt. If they don't answer, you can send them a different message. If they don't want to connect with you, you can send them an in-mail. It is all personalized to exactly how you want to run the system and how you want to automate the process. And it's incredibly easy, incredibly detailed behind it. There are some other videos if you want to check out the HeyReach video that I do have as well attached on my YouTube channel. You can be able to check that out for more of a full tutorial guide. But Sales Nav and HeyReach is a great combination for landing clients. Of course, make the messages clear, make them personalized, and make them concise. Same thing with X and Drippy. I do think HeyReach and LinkedIn DMs are more accurate than Drippy's system with X, but it's definitely something that you can still do to automate messaging and then be able to get out in front of people that fit your demographic. You can scrape leads from people that have big accounts, from big tweets, and then be able to target them with your specified messaging. So this is the outbound system. This is something that we do for clients, and we're able to book them 5 to 10 qualified sales calls a month by handling this system for them. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, I'm sure I'm going to have a link below where you can check out really just anything that we offer here at Catalyst Creators. But what I think is also very important that people do neglect at times is their inbound system, being able to build content systems that are going to work for them. A lot of people just want to post 5 posts of anything on X, 1 post a day on LinkedIn, maybe YouTube a week, newsletter post, which is great. And it's what you should do. But it has to be in an organized manner, in a way that's going to funnel and make sense. So let's back up and go into the inbound system. We'll get into the content strategy in a second. But what we do here on the inbound system is I have LinkedIn, I have X, I have YouTube. I use these as the top of funnel for my inbound system, where I am posting incredibly relatable content based on my niche through X, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I am then funneling those people into my free school community. It's free for now. We might have it be paid soon. So I will leave that link below to be able to join, and my newsletter as well. These are the 2 most important things, because if someone sees your LinkedIn, your X, your YouTube, they know you, they might like you, but you don't know if they trust you for sure. And you do have more of a built trust if they're taking the step to be able to join your newsletter or join into your school community, anything of the sort. I know you can use WAP as well. So just anything like that to be able to join in. So once you have people that far into your system within the newsletter and free school. Newsletter, I sometimes pitch out some offers as well as the school community, but I don't just use the newsletter to send out, hey, I have this, you should buy it, you should do this, you should buy this, where I'm constantly pitching people, because that's annoying. And that's not why people join newsletters. People join newsletters to get more detailed insight and information. So here's the important thing with this group in particular. You're going to want to be as detailed as possible. Give out information that you think should be paid for free in the newsletter, in the school community. I completely offer information that a lot of people do hide behind gated communities in my newsletter for free, in my school community for free, because I know that's the value that you can bring. Now, there's the psychology behind it that if you're typically someone selling something like this, most of the mistakes that people make is, I don't want to give up that paid information because for free, because they're just going to take it and run. When in reality, if a consumer was to see you give that much free information that should be paid, or it's just such high quality level, most people are going to think, if this is what's for free, then let me go check out what's paid. So it's just that different abundant mindset that you have to have when offering free content that is high level and that you might have paid for yourself, that you're giving out for free as well. I have joined Client Ascension. I have joined Dan Koh's programs, Dale and Simmons programs. I have joined some of the most elite programs in terms of mentorship and coaching. And I do offer a lot of the things that I've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for free on my newsletter and my school community. So you really want to make sure that you do offer that kind of value up front when you are talking to people within your ecosystem. And then next, I go into, from the newsletters in school, I go into my different offers. Now we have the client acquisition starter pack. That's a low ticket offer. I do around $50. Then the Catalyst Creators Academy, where I'm building out the systems for people's outbound and inbound system. Basically what I'm showing I completely personalize for each client that I have within there. And then the Catalyst Creators full mentorship, where I'm doing everything within these first two with 5 consulting calls, as well as 24/7 DMs and full access for 3 months. So these are really just the main offers that I do. And that is what trickles down from the inbound system. Now, people will say, okay, that's great. I've heard that before, but what do I post on LinkedIn? What do I do on Twitter? What do I do on YouTube? What's the volume? What's the funnel look like? And that's why we're going to get into the content strategy. So as I mentioned before, with the outbound system that we're going to want to also implement within the content strategy, is the first things first. First thing I do with every client that I have come on board is we're building their creative strategy, their creative brief. We're understanding who are their competitors, what are the biggest pain points that their prospects might be looking for, how do they solve it differently than others, who is their competition, how do we stand out from it, exactly what are some unpopular opinions that you have as a company that we can use to leverage some debate, some controversy that's going to allow you to get out your messaging and be different than just everyone else just posting just for the sake of posting. We want to educate to an insane amount to give people the level of understanding that they have not learned before on any other channel. It's exactly what we're trying to push here within this content, this whole map that I'm showing you, as well as what we do with clients. So this is exactly how you want to break it down in the simplest terms. So this is X and LinkedIn. What I do typically is 3 or 4 posts a day on X. Of course, X does not really punish you or hurt you for posting a lot. And then 1 post a day on LinkedIn. Usually something more in-depth, more valuable. Carousel posts work very well, where you see someone has almost like a slideshow presentation where you post it as a PDF, and then it gives you a great outlook on how you can do it. Educates people and brings people onto your profile. You can see particularly who have viewed your profile and then be able to capitalize from there. And my call to action, my objective with LinkedIn and X is to be able to get people into the newsletter and into the school community, just as I mentioned before. That is the number one thing to be able to do, because that's really what I see. Now, I do have my Stan store, which does give access straight to the offers, to the school community, to even some YouTube videos that I do have in my bio. But of course, really the main call to action is newsletter and school community. Next, I'm going to skip over newsletter because that is kind of more towards the end, and then just go right to YouTube. So YouTube, this is where you can get people to know, like, and trust you. So you can be posting on X 10 times a day for 10 years, and you will not build nearly enough trust as you would when you're posting on YouTube. When you allow people to see your face, when you allow them to hear your voice and be able to just genuinely talk to them and have a real conversation where you're just telling them what you've experienced. Really, all of the videos that I have throughout my profile and throughout this video as well is just everything that I've learned, and just being able to show you how to implement it is just something that I've experienced from making my own mistakes. And that's exactly why I'm here, and that's exactly why I'm trying to build the trust from showing you what I have done in the past, what has worked and what has maybe not worked. So 1 video a week, I would say, is around standard. 4 to 5 shorts a week. This is really to just be able to get people into your main videos. I wouldn't say you're going to really get a lot of conversion on shorts, but you're going to have people be more aware of your long form videos, which is then going to be able to get conversion. So almost the version of how you want to reply to people a lot on X and LinkedIn is similar to how you want to create shorts on YouTube. You're just doing it to get attention, to be able to bring it to your main objective. Call to action: newsletter, school. Sometimes I'll put an affiliate link. So for instance, I was telling you about Hey Reach on here. I have put that in before within different guides. So different things that I'll be able to put in there. But of course, main objective is newsletter and school community. Next, of course, the newsletter and the school. As I mentioned, you want to absolutely jam pack these things with value. Show them some of your Zapier automations. Show them some of your school community behind in the background. Be able to show them exactly what you do, how you've helped people. Show in the testimonials. Be able to leverage those and show how important they are. Give actionable detail. The best way I can describe this is give how-to instructions. All of my YouTube videos really have been how-to automate your outbound system, how to use a Hey Reach campaign to sign clients, how to, as of here, create a full inbound and outbound strategy that's going to sign you consistent clients. These are all how-to videos, and that's exactly how you pack things with value. If you're thinking, I'm not sure what to write about, what to do, type a chat GPT prompt that says, hi GPT, you're my assistant. I work within this industry to help people with this problem. And what I want to do is educate my audience so that they like me, so that they trust me. What are some things that I can create within a how-to format? Ask ChatGPT that. Just simply enough, go to ChatGPT, pause this video, go to ChatGPT right now, and then type that in. See what you come up with. I guarantee it'll give you 10, 15 new YouTube ideas, new newsletter ideas, new school community post ideas that you can be able to create. So incredibly important that you do that so that the call to action will make sense for people. When you're writing about your newsletter or you're writing in your school community about ways that you can help, it makes more sense to put your offers in there because of the fact that it's a more gradual thing. If I make one post on LinkedIn or X that's pretty general and then I just say, buy my stuff, no one's going to trust that. No one's going to like it either. And I wouldn't like it either. So what I'd like to do, and what I always have seen work the best, is bring people into these free opportunities, get some good karma, be able to offer a lot of free value. And then once you get someone down to the newsletter/school, then you kind of have more permission to sell without really forcing it down people's throats. Because what I found, whether it is inbound content or outbound content, is you don't want to just force feed people to buy your stuff, because most people will not buy your stuff, and the people that will feel forced. They'll have buyer's remorse and they won't be happy with your product, and then you'll get bad reviews and you won't have people like what you're doing. So always make it in a way where, listen, I'm offering this kind of value. If that's something that's interesting to you, check it out. If not, no worries. So now here you have the full system here. Now, next steps, of course, just like I mentioned here from YouTube. What is going to make sense for me? I'm sure you know it already. If you're checking this out on YouTube or on X or anything like that, I strongly encourage you to join my newsletter and my school. I'm always open to hearing what people are looking for to learn about. I'm always posting new pieces of information to be able to teach people within my audience of exactly how they're able to create these systems to be able to sustainably scale their business. So join the newsletter, join the school community. I'll have the links below, And any questions, anything else you want to see in future videos, just comment below and I'll make sure to have it happen. So thank you very much. Hope you have a great day.